Good afternoon and good evening. So what will happen to those who haven't prepared? And there's many things that we're told to prepare for, or that we know that we should prepare for. Like if a hurricane is coming and you know it's coming your way, a lot of people are going to get boards. They're going to board up their houses. They're going to get water. They're going to get food, shelf-stable food and stuff like that. They're going to make sure they have candles and lighters. They may even get in their car if it's a bad hurricane, and they're going to prepare by leaving because they want to save their life. They don't want the water to come in, and take them away along with their families. Let me make sure this is up for you all. The same way with the tornado. You have the emergency alert systems that alert your area when a tornado comes, and it tells you exactly what to do. If you are like in a trailer or something like that, seek shelter below ground if you can. And if you're on the highway, you ever hear how they said you could lay in a ditch that has a dip if there's like a tornado or something coming, or like an earthquake. What was that where you had to get under the tables in school or something? If an earthquake is coming, get underneath a table. Hello there, Applebrooks, honey. Get underneath a table. Or when the tornado was coming in the school systems, you go in the hall, you do the tornado drill, you go in the hall, you sit on the floor, you put your hands over your head, and you cover your head because you don't want to get hurt. But if a tornado did come, and you're one of the people who did not heed the instructions, even if you were in school, when they told everybody what to do, and you're standing around thinking, oh, it ain't going to happen to me, and then something happens to you, then you failed to heed the warning. You failed to heed the warning. I'm very thankful that they do have, the emergency alert systems, the emergency broadcast systems that do alert people in the event of weather that is very, detrimental to human health, or ice storms, tornadoes, rainstorms, earthquakes, or civil disturbances and things like that. I'm thankful that they alert the people. And they have big sirens in the cities and stuff that will go off. Now we get the things on our phones. Wouldn't you want to know if you were getting ready to be under attack, like if something was happening, say the aliens came to attack, and they already had reports of the aliens in the sky, bad aliens, not good aliens, bad aliens in the sky, and they have been firing on places on the earth, in towns, buildings and stuff, blowing things up, or heaven forbid, some like drone army comes and lands on earth, and they're in the town or the state next to you, the county next to you, and there's warnings going out. Wouldn't you want to know if something like that was happening? Or even when the houses, when there's wildfires and the wildfire is spreading super, super fast, and they're giving the evacuation orders, you got to get out or you're going to lose your home. You don't want to get caught. So what happens when people don't prepare? They're left in a very bad situation. They are, and they better be doing a whole lot of praying to God or a higher power that they stay safe, you all. That's right. There's a crash tomorrow on my birthday. Denise, honey, let's see. Is the source I've never heard of Bopony. Smells me of baloney. I don't mean to laugh. It's going to be a God event. Stay safe, you beautiful soul. The same thing will happen to those who prepare as to those who don't prepare. Everyone will need to adapt. We will have to adapt one way or another. So now we got another 24th of what's happening on the 24th of November, you all? You'll volunteer to be 8 first. Terry, honey. Oh my goodness. I hope it doesn't get down to it, you. I do. But really, what happens when someone doesn't prepare, and they've had ample time, but they refuse to heed the warnings, really. Like preparing, please have some food stored up. Now, granted, like some places, even like where the hurricanes hit or earthquakes and stuff, you can rest assured that there were people who did prepare, who had, food storage and other things, and then something happened and they lost it all. Or if something happened, they had to leave it all behind, and the only thing they could take was the clothes on their back and what they could carry. Something like that also, you all. So at times, you know, you can prepare, but you don't know what kind of disaster might befall the land. You don't. But it would make sense to prepare for whatever situation you feel need to. Just pick one. There's all kinds of situations that you can prepare for. It does start right in here. And we really do need to be there for one another. We do. Because there's people who will need help. Even those people who you have warned time and time again, you need to start preparing. Even those people who are stubborn and bullheaded, really. Because when it happens and you realize that they didn't prepare but you did, then your heart is kind of going to melt, and you're going to kick into the humanitarian role, and you're going to want to help thy neighbor. You are, if you got love in your being, because you can't sit there and let children suffer, or see people do without good-hearted people, even though you know they didn't listen to you, but they're good-hearted people, loved ones, friends, and families. Your heart is going to melt. It is within you. The compassion is going to start flowing out, because when tragedy strikes you all, it does. It brings out the humanitarian side of humanity, the loving side, the caring side, because we want to help others. We really do. We want to get them out of harm's way, do what we can for them, because we want them to survive. We do. It's going to happen like that, and it does happen like that, even though some people weren't listening, you all. See, those chimes are chiming right in. It's the humanitarian side of humans. It's the love on the inside. Yeah. So I know it gets tiring, you all, when you warn people, or you like try to advise people you should really stock up, or you should do this or that, because you're looking out for their best interest, because that's what you do for yourself. And I know it really kind of gets to you, kind of hurts your feelings, especially if they make fun of you, or they just saying, oh, you're just making all this stuff up, nothing's going to happen. Because when you know, when something does happen, it's going to traumatize them, you all. It will literally traumatize them. And you're not going to want to see them traumatized. You're not. I couldn't. My heart would get the best of me. Now, if there's bad people, that's tough love. That's tough love. It is. They had a lot of time to... Bo Poloni. Bo Poloni is a financial advisor. Never heard of it. Yeah, some people say, you know, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's how they do it. You have to tell them, I'll help you now, but only if you help me. Oh, you can rest assured they will help you. They'll do anything to really kind of save their life and their family's life. They will. They may not listen right now, but when push comes to shove, and when they see that there's nothing left for them, they'll do everything they can to protect their own. They will. Somebody has turned you, plus you turned something off. Fear tactics. Richard Villas. Fear tactics. Yes, a lot of fear tactics people come onto the comment section, and they throw that out there too. They do throw out the words, the phrases, fear porn, fear tactics. There are people who will come onto your comments in your live streams, and even in your comment sections on your uploads, and they'll try to do whatever they can to distract the people, be a major distraction from what is happening in the world, because we see it all over the place, you all. But we're talking about good evening. Your sister doesn't want to hear. Well, it is hard. It is hard for some to listen, you all, because really, if you look at the other side of it, some people, they cannot handle the truth. They can't. Because their life is already so complicated. Their shoulders are, they feel like they're carrying the load of the world right now. Really, this is how some people are. I can look at the other side for people not wanting to listen. I can. They may feel like they've got the weight of the world. They may feel, I'll speak up for the other people. They may feel they got the weight of the world on their shoulders. And this one more thing that you're wanting them to do, that's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. They can't handle one more thing. And they know you're They know you got their best interest at heart, but I can speak for the other people. I can put myself in their shoe. Some, they can't handle it. They can't. It literally will break them. And that's the last thing you want to do when they're trying their best to hold their life together. Everybody's trying their best to hold their life together, you all, to the best of their ability. They may not do it the way I want them to do it. They may not do it the way that you want them to do it, but they're doing their best to survive in a world that's been turned upside down, in a world that's falling apart, in a world where love is fading away, love and kindness and all of that. And it's hard for them to cope with reality. It is. And it's going to take a lot of other people a lot longer to cope than those who have already been preparing themselves on the inside. So I can look at the flip side of the coin. I can put myself in their shoes. And I've always been able to, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on here who have always been able to put themselves in that other person's shoes. Because they do. They have so much already on their plate. And to have someone come at them time and time again, kind of like nag them, really. Because I'm sure some people thinking, would you please? If you've told me once, you've told me 1,000 times. And they may get a little edgy. It's because they can't handle it right now. It's too much. So those people like that, you got to practice the patience within. Have patience within and just keep that space in your heart for those people, okay? Keep that in there because you know that deep down within, they would listen, but they can't now because of everything else going on in their life. Hello. You saw it coming. We are just trying to figure this out the best we can. That's right, Cosmic Cowboy. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Was that Gabrielle? Something like that. This is the other side of Gina. This is the side, you all have been seeing the side of Gina that has been put on the back burner since 2018 because I had to show ships. I did. So show the ships for around 1.5 to 2.5 years and talk about all of that. I've had to put this part of me on the back burner. It never left me, but it's been on the back burner. Oh, he has a trucker and he changes jobs to make it. Yeah, he's trying to see you all. Yeah, don't be afraid, Velcro Kitty. Aw, I like that screen name, Velcro Kitty. I saw all this coming when I was young. When I got pregnant, I was afraid for my daughter. She must be here for a reason. Yeah, absolutely. Everything happens for a reason. You're grilling and it's so windy in Chicago, Maria. It was very windy here too. You all hit that like button because our world, it's different areas of our world is under enormous strain. It's fractured. We're living in a fractured world. We really are. And I'm sure the earth itself doesn't like the fractures that are appearing on the surface. I'm not talking about, fissures in the actual ground, but the fractures that are appearing on the surface amongst the human population, humanity itself, the energy and all of that. It doesn't like it either. It doesn't. We are the matrix. I know that there's deer there, you all. I'm getting sidetracked, you all. So what happens to the people who do not prepare? What happens to them? Do you just turn your ear the other way? Do you? Do you, if you see them on the side of the road, do you just like walk right on by like that? And you join the other crowds before you, the other crowd of people who walks right on by when you see somebody in trouble? Are you going to be like that? You know you can't be like that. If you've got love and compassion on the inside of you, it is practically impossible for you to sit there when somebody's in a time of need to ignore them. It's going to be very, very difficult for you to, especially if you've known that person to be a loving, kind soul. am I don't know what I'm hearing down there. Probably deer running around you all. The ruffling of the weeds is getting me. It's going to be hard to turn a blind eye. It is. Laura, none ya business. We reap what we sow. I am a very firm believer in that. I am. But to that person who has sown kindness all of their life and they had always been there for somebody, and then something happens and then they fall on hard times, I believe a total stranger will even come their way and help them because they were helping others. Even though you may not have known anything about it. Really, you may not know everything about somebody, and we may prejudge them a lot of prematurely, prejudge people prematurely without knowing anything about them. Okay, really. Yeah. Hello. Are you so very welcome? So yes, we got to keep our frequency high. Even though, you know, food prices are going through the roof, some food prices are, some food is disappearing off the shelves. Some companies are like, you know, they just disappearing. Food production companies, food processing, certain food products going bye-bye and stuff. And the food not lasting as long as it used to, you all. All of that. Everything is happening way too fast. It is way too fast. But I can look around, you can look around, and we know that prejudging, judging, and prejudging, I get that a lot too. Perhaps you get that a lot. You have somebody who don't know you, and then they come and just boom, there's the judgment. Say, gee, thanks. I'm glad you took time to get to know me. And a lot of people, it takes a long time to get to know a lot of people. It does. You can't just look. Well, you probably could just look, because there are instances of people running into people immediately. I'm hearing a woodpecker. Where is that woodpecker at, you all? It's pecking on the logs of this log cabin. It pecked on the side of that, you all. Yeah, there are people that you will meet and automatically your spirit says, I do not like them. They've not done anything to me, but there's something about them I do not like. There are those instances, or immediately there is a positive connection. There is those instances too, you all. There is. The factories, the food factories are going. Country boy, yeah. The aliens are the watchers, you agree, Velcro. Yeah, so when people don't prepare, it puts them in a rather precarious situation. And then it puts you in a rather precarious situation because they may look to you to help them. And if you don't help them, it may not go too well. It really may not go too well. And you may, if you do decide to help, you may get a backlash from loved ones and friends for helping somebody who they did not want you to help at all because they felt that they did not deserve it. So there's all kinds of scenarios that could pop up. There really is all kinds of them. You feel prepared, but you know you miss no. I've missed a lot too. There's no way you can prepare for everything. It's impossible. There goes that woodpecker. It's a black and white woodpecker, you all. It's pecking on the house. It's pecking on the house. You're going to share as needed, and you're in your rural area, and people come along. That's right, it's true. How many months worth should the average person prepare for? Does anyone have an answer from Maryland's Planet? How many months should the average person prepare for? 6 months? 2 months? I know in emergencies, they want you to have at least 2 weeks worth of food and clothing, something like that. Woody woodpecker it was. How much? Well, that's a woodchuck. A whole year. The Mormons do a whole year, or who does 3 years? Seventh-day Adventists also prepare. They have their own food stores too. You put caulk in the woodpecker holes. Oh, okay. Supply the bugs. They'll supply all the bugs. We can have bugs to eat. Infrastructure for the aliens who are coming. YJ Overlander. Now let me read this. And then you're talking about the aliens. What if they're making the food supply all bugs because they're preparing a bug menu infrastructure for the aliens who are coming? I thought about that too. I really did. I thought about that today. I said, if they're going to feed us insects, is it because the aliens? I did think about that too. You know, you'd have it like, it's like grass-fed cows. There's vegetarians, so all that insect food and stuff, protein, then that would be the praying mantis, the insectoids. Is there other beings that eat, other alien beings that eat insects? Hypothesis. We're hypothetically speaking at the moment. We are, because this is like, we do talk about UFOs and aliens also, other species, interdimensional species, and fact or fiction. We speak about it. It's something weird, and it is coming, and you can feel it. The Chittanteri spinal cancer, the aliens are so far ahead of us, and if they wanted us gone, that's right, we would be gone, that's true. Long ago, we wouldn't even been on here this long, but we could be kept along for sport. We know that we got good on our side also. We've got good here and we've got bad here. We've got good fighting for humanity, and we got bad fighting against humanity. There's forces for both sides, you all. That's right. We're at a crossroads, we really are. Even the governments of the world know that we're at a crossroads and everything is changing. They're trying to hold on to their power also. They really are, their power structures. The governments of the world are trying to hold on to their power structures, and they are finding it very difficult to do so. They're warring amongst themselves, you all. Warring amongst themselves. And it's just like us warring amongst ourselves also. Fighting amongst ourselves. And if something is causing a massive division on a lower level and on a higher level, a massive division is taking place, and it's I think it's deliberate, from the top going all the way, trickling down all the way to the bottom, a deliberate dividing people. That's true. Fake power is not worth holding on to. The governments will try to get us to unite for a common cause, to fight the Most High God, and don't get fooled. I've often thought of that too. Lion of the East. I've thought about that too. Gets lots of peanut butter, you all. Have you noticed that the Walmart store, the peanut butter jars, they have a different label that they had. They like, I have a pink label. When I went to the Walmart today, there were no Walmart salts at all. It was just the real Morton salt. That's all there was, Morton salt. There was no Walmart treat, the luncheon meat from Walmart. There was only Spam. There was only the Spam. It's like a lot of the cheaper items. There was no big stacks of Walmart chicken in a can, like 4 cans in a big stack. That wasn't even there. It was gone. And people may not shop at Walmart, but I'll go shop at Walmart, and I'll go shop at Aldi's when I'm that way. I want to get the best for my money, and I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. Have you all noticed that we have Let me get it. Oh, Apple Brooks, honey, you beat me to the Tinder hot dating. You beat me to that thing. These bots are out of control, you all. They're out of control, and they're meant to disrupt the communication. I just want to say something on here. You heard a lot of whispering on the video you did of the star when you heard them dog howlings, the other howling screams. I do believe there was something in the woods. Yeah. See, somebody got himself in trouble. Your son has set great value cheese. If you all see a comment, I want to address that. If you see a comment that has my profile picture, pinging your comments on this video, on this YouTube channel, and they got my profile picture and they're saying, message me on Telegram, or they're saying something about a WhatsApp, that's not me, you all. That is accounts that were created by someone months and months ago. They must have made around 100 or 200 accounts. They do it to everybody. They will spam the comment section, and the reason they do it, they want money. But if they spam them, they literally, I don't know what it does to the channel, but it's not me, you all. It's not me. I have to report them, and I have to block it with my profile picture. There's nothing you can do about it. I can't stop them until I see them. But it's not me. I'm not going to come on here and say, please give me money. Message me on Telegram and then ask for money. That's not me at all. Yeah, there is a lot of them, Penny Davis. They even have been doing it on my Telegram account itself, and I rarely even comment on my Telegram account anymore. I'll share things from YouTube, but I'm not privately messaging people on my Telegram, and I'm not messaging in the comment sections here either. The rivers are drying up, country boy. Yeah, so when people don't prepare, what's going to happen? They're going to look around, and they're going to want to prepare, but it's going to be too late. It is. And then that's when hospitality is going to kick in. They're going to have to look to their neighbors and their friends and their family for help, or the government or other agencies. They're going to have to look for others for help. And then when they do, they're not going to be happy with themselves. They're not. And some people, of no fault of their own, they're not going to be prepared either, because their lives have been so busy they ain't had time. They haven't. It can be any type of situation, you all. It could. And it's easy to get caught up in getting upset when you tell people to prepare and they don't. It's easy to get upset because it's like a broken record. Some people will deliberately ignore you. Some people cannot prepare financially the way that you want them to, buying extra food and stuff. And some people, they have so much on their plate, they feel like they got the weight of the world on their shoulder with all their own problems. And with you telling them to do one more thing, it's too much. It's too much. They can't handle it. They can't. You just chill out and back up, back up, and just calm down. That's what you have to do. Give them the space they need. Really. I am going to go. Thank you all for coming on here, but it's something to think about. It is good to think about the other side of the coin. Why aren't people listening? There could be various reasons, a lot of various reasons. Some, they just don't want to. Some, they can't really afford to the way that you want them to. Some thinks nothing's going to happen at all. And some, well, they can't handle any more. They're trying to keep their life intact and keep everything together, and they can't handle one more thing that they have to think about. So, yeah, I am going to go. So with that being said, thank you for your comments. And hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You all, love you.